Hi, third graders. Welcome back to our class read aloud of Tomorrow Girls Behind the Gates. Last time we joined, we were in the chapter where Louisa was in the kitchen, for her duty, and she noticed that all the food had these Canadian labels on it. And so she was sure to tell Evelyn about all that. And now the girls are getting prepared and ready for their overnight trip in the woods. So let's start with chapter 10. Debbie holds up a small cluster of small purple berries. If you found these in the woods, would you eat them? She asked the 8 of us that were sitting on the ground by her feet. We were just outside the forest surrounding the school. Alice Abbott raised her hands and speaked when Debbie nodded to her. I would. They look like small grapes or maybe blueberries. You're right and you're wrong, Debbie says. They're actually elderberries. Are they edible? My arm shot up. Yes, I know the answer. I was eager to show that I had been studying. Yes, you can, as she nodded to me. The whole plant? Debbie questioned me. Yes, I replied. Wrong, Debbie said. The berries are good to eat. The roots are poisonous. There's so much to know, and I've been working so hard, but what we need to learn just seems endless. I don't know how I'm ever going to master all of this information, but I want to know it all. The more academic morning teachers don't seem to mind that we're half asleep because the afternoon teachers are working us so hard. I'm up until lights out every night as I pore over the manual on laying a trail that someone else can follow by putting down different types of markers, or including making a gash in a tree called an axe blaze, or building a rock formation. And this is the week that I discovered that I really have good aim. At the rifle range, I hit the target every time. No more wild shots that go off into the woods. I've gotten used to aiming low to compensate for that kickback on the rifle. Rosie is still the star of the range, but when I hit my first bullseye cluster with one bullet dead center, I'm most proud when she gave me a thumbs up. Ha! You're going to be giving me some real competition soon, she remarks. You can count on it, I replied with a smile, meaning it. My goal is to someday be as good of a shot as she is, maybe even better. Now, archery lessons are a little more challenging. Just getting the bow and arrow into position without it all tumbling to the ground takes several tries. And my first shots were crazy. One goes straight up and made everyone duck for cover when it landed. The next couple, they fly off into the forest somewhere, probably scaring a few squirrels half to death. By the end of the day, I had bruises from where the string of the bow or the bow hits on the inside of my left arm when I released it incorrectly. Debbie, who's teaching the class, got me a leather arm guard, which helped a lot. My fingers, they were taking a beating too. When the arrow wasn't placed quite right, the guide feathers at the bottom of the arrow, which only look like feathers, but they're actually kind of this stiff nylon, slice my fingers. And it really hurts. Like a paper cut, which I've been getting a lot of lately, but way worse. By the end of Thursday, though, I was hitting the target regularly. I was feeling satisfied every time I could hear that whap thunk sound of the arrow being released and hitting the mark. At the very end of class, I hit my first bullseye. Congratulations, Debbie says to me as she pulls out the arrow out of the target. A bullseye after only 4 days of shooting. That's very impressive. I couldn't stop smiling. I was so proud of myself. It was a great feeling. Thursday night, I tacked my paper archery target up to our bedroom door. Maddie comes up and studies it and then turns to me. Wow, she said, now that's amazing. I'm in my lower bunk looking at the pictures of my mom and dad in my locket. Thanks, I say. Who knew I'd be so good at shooting at things? Well, I can see that you really are. You're really good at it, Maddie says. It surprised me that she didn't make some critical remark about archery being stupid or useless. So how are you doing in your classes? I asked with just a touch of caution in my voice. I miss talking to her, but it's hard not to set her off in a negative way anymore these days. Okay, I guess, Maddie says. I can finally pitch a tent that doesn't fall down on my head, and my campfires, they don't fizzle out after about 5 minutes anymore. I laugh lightly. Well, that's good. Yeah, I guess, Maddie says. I still can't hit a target for anything, though. Maybe I could help you sometime. You know, Rosie's really good at shooting. You could ask her if she'd... No thanks, Maddie said quickly. I can't help but brace myself for the next sour comment. But I'd like it if you'd help me, she said. Phew, maybe this is a good time to finally get through to her. Putting my locket back under my shirt, I sit up. Listen, Maddie, I begin. I'm sorry we haven't been spending much time together. It's just that I really love it here, and you don't. I know, this whole elite leader of tomorrow thing, it's really weirding me out, Maddie says. Don't take it so seriously, I advise. It's just something they say to make us feel important. Just think of all the cool stuff we get to do that we never, ever have had the chance to do, even if we were home. Where would we ever be able to learn any of this stuff? Nowhere. But that's just it. Why do they have us out here, in the middle of nowhere? Maddie asks. You're starting to sound like Evelyn, I pointed out. Really though, why are we so far away from everything? We can't even get mail? Because this is one of the only places in the country where nature hasn't been totally wrecked by pollution or the war, I say. Why is it so secretive? Maddie pushes. For our safety. Maddie just shook her head sadly. I don't believe that. Why not? I can't explain it. I just don't, Maddie sighs. Could it be really that maybe you're just homesick for maybe your own mom and dad? I say gently. Tears welled up in Maddie's eyes as she nods. I miss them. I miss them a whole awful lot. I miss my parents too, I admit. But they're fine, and your parents are fine. And right now we have such a cool life here, Maddie. We just need to enjoy it for what it is. Maddie sat on the edge of my bed. What is it, though? It confuses me. I just told you. It's a great chance to learn some cool stuff, get a good education, have fun, and make some new awesome friends. Well, I don't want awesome new friends, Maddie insisted, wiping the wetness from her eyes. You've met Evelyn, I reminded her. Yeah, Evelyn is great, Maddie admits, but I don't like that you've made great new friends. At least you think they're great. I know that she was talking about Rosie and her crowd. Well, they like CMS too, like I do, I explain. Maddie nods and sniffs. I know. Then a rush of guilt suddenly hit me like a bomb. Maddie's been homesick, lonely, confused, and what did I do? I got mad at her and deserted her? I'm sorry, Maddie, I say sincerely. I've been kind of a jerk. Without looking at me, Maddie shakes her head. It's okay. I've been a pain. Well, what a pair of twins do we make, I say with a sad laugh. A jerk and a pain. Maddie shifts her head and laughs, despite her bloodshot eyes. Yeah, some pair. Putting my arm around her shoulders, I squeeze tight. Want to be friends again? I would really like that, Maddie agrees. Taking my arm from her shoulder, I hold out my hand. Friends? Friends. Maddie shook my hand and confirmed it with a smile. Reaching around, I hugged her tight. Maddie and I were friends again, and I was so happy because I've missed her. And let me see. I think that might be a good stopping point in this chapter because it is another long chapter. So when we start again, we'll continue from the same chapter, but it's starting on a new day. It'll be starting on, it starts with on next Friday, on the Friday morning. So that'll be a good stopping point. All right, my friends. So I will see you again soon, and we'll continue this chapter to see what's going on with their overnight adventure. How are they going to prepare for it on this Friday and Saturday coming up? All right, have a great day, and I will see you soon.